getting it immediately. These funds will go to empowering rural hospitals, strengthening their workforce, modernizing facilities and technology, and ensuring that rural Americans get world-class health care in their own community, right smack in their own community, like they've never had it before. And they've been hurt very badly by the Unaffordable Care Act. Every single Democrat in Congress voted against the lifeline for rural communities. And I hope everyone knows this. And this is not about elections, but I hope you remember this in the midterms, because the Democrats are just so horrible toward the rural community.
This is that light strip that goes right under the tailgate of your truck. Let's check them out. When you start your truck, you get this cool light pattern. And here's your left turn signal and the right turn signal. And when you brake, nobody's going to miss this flashing pattern.
Ah, damn Trump. Watching that.
One Democrat vote. We got all Republican votes. It was an amazing feat. And I want to thank Mike, our Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and John Thune, who are really doing a great job. There was stuff, we have small majorities. And I want to thank the congressmen that are here for doing, in particular, for working so hard and getting this done. Yesterday, I also announced our framework to lower health care prices for all Americans, including those in rural America.
Marauder brother.
And we're calling it the
Who's checking on what this guy's
we had to come up with
chatting about
and
today.
Everybody wanted to say, oh, well, can we put something about lowering costs, because we're lowering costs very
Who's restreaming me? Jody
So
is.
I had Bobby and
Ban her
I had
immediately.
Oz, we had everybody in there. We had a whole group of people who were trying to come up with. So we're saying the cost reduction plan that gives you good
Welcome.
healthcare.
It's Commander. Hey, brother.
And I said, it's too long. It's not going to sell. I said, we had more plans. And they wanted to get the words cost reduction in their law, especially you. They wanted cost reduction in, and then they wanted great
CC,
healthcare.
good morning, dear.
I said, look, you can have one or the other, but it gets too long. We're talking about the name of a plan.
We got to watch what this guy
We got
is
it down to 7 or 8 words, and which is far
talking
too long.
about.
Nobody can remember that much. And I said, how about just call it?
Jody, thank you. I think you're unblocked on most channels, not sure.
Has to be cost
Have to
effective.
look into
Otherwise,
that.
it can't be a great plan. That's the way I looked at it. So we have a very glamorous name. It's called the Great Healthcare Plan, not the Unaffordable Care Act. I don't like that name. This is called officially the Great Healthcare Plan. That means low price and great healthcare. So
I don't think he's going to take any questions, though, man.
First, our proposal codifies the massive discounts on prescription drugs.
I don't see him taking any questions.
Achieving through our most favored nation provisions. Okay, we can go into this. We can go into this for hours, but the bottom line is we'll be paying the lowest.
No, I was teasing her,
of any
Jethro.
nation in the world. Whoever's paying the lowest, we match it.
Texas girl.
This could have been done years ago. I was
has
to do
3
it
thumbs
in my first administration,
and keeps blocking her main moderator.
I can't believe it wasn't the right. It wasn't exactly a good time to be doing it. But I said, why isn't somebody doing it?
Twice
and
in 1
the reason
week.
They're not doing it is that no other nation would agree. France, as an example, paid 10% of what we paid.
Good to see you, though.
Germany was paying 13 or 14% what we paid. In other words, we paid many times more, not a little bit more, not 10% more, 10 times more.
Regardless of what he's coming up with, I want to see if people are, if he's going to be able to ask questions. He's going to take questions.
It would cost in Munich.
Because
and this went on for many decades. This was right from the beginning.
What's happening is hot and heavy.
It was a little bit of the healthcare companies, but it was other nations, and I understand that. If I were heading Germany, I'm not going to double and triple and quadruple my healthcare. They got the healthcare companies.
Hit the like button, guys. Like,
just took place
share, and
over a long period of
subscribe.
time. Got worse and worse.
All that.
And it just hit numbers that were just absolutely unsaleable. And if you remember, the doctors in the audience remember, they said, well, we have to do research and development. I said, well, what about research and development?
Good morning, Judge.
Well, we've decided to put up the, so the
Thanks for coming in.
5 times more because of research and development, and 5 times more for other reasons. They had all these phony reasons. And finally, I said to the healthcare companies, we can't do it anymore. We can't do it. And it started, really, I tell the story.
Yeah,
it
that's,
meant to be funny.
man,
People find
bro.
it funny. But a
It's
friend of
not
mine
good.
was a very smart guy, very, very rich, very powerful man, actually. but he was very fat. And he took the fat, I call it the fat drug. I won't give you which one. It was Ozempic. I won't tell you that.
He took
And
the
he went
fat
to
drug.
London on one of his many business trips. That's all he does is business. He can walk across the street, but he's a great businessman. And he said, President. I said, what? He used to call me Donnie.
Brother, welcome.
Dave
Lee,
welcome. So I said, you've come a
welcome.
long way. But I have a problem.
Let's see.
What's the
I'm
problem?
charging my
In New
laptop
York, I
right
paid
now, but
$1,300 for this drug. Now, this means nothing to him. This is like a penny.
Rada, Justin Garza,
That's worth hundreds of millions, billions of dollars.
my favorite
He said, and in London,
funny
sir,
man next
I
to
pay just a fraction of that. I said, what are you paying?
me.
$87. Well, is it the same drug? I knew exactly what he was getting at because it bothered me for a long time.
I don't
So
know
it's the
anybody that
exact
took
same
that
drug.
Ozempic.
And because of
I
his
heard it's
wealth,
pretty
and
damn
his
dangerous,
business
but
was, he
I-
had it checked. It was made in the same plant by the same company.
Lorada,
It's
everybody though,
identical.
welcome
And here I pay
to the
87,
Lorada
and in New York
Corporation.
I pay $1,500.
We
So-
own everything, including the
It was too much to bear.
pharmaceutical. Well, no, we don't.
After I told him
We own a lot.
the drug
We own a
does not
lot,
work
so
on
that's.
him because I saw him recently. He's actually
But
fat
we're
and
trying to
fat.
get into the
I said the drug is not working on you. You're going to have to go to something else.
rest of it.
But it does work on a lot of people. And he said, "Thanks. You make me feel good." I said, "Well, I got to be truthful. You always tell the truth, right, Mr. Congressman?" Oh, look, one of the great
Take
two of the
Ozempic.
great congressmen. But the drug, we have to do something about it because that's the
More
same
to
with
Tennessee.
every, I would say, Bobby, every drug, essentially. Doesn't have to be in
See
that
you, brother
proportion.
Lone
In some
Wolf.
cases, it's much worse.
Welcome.
Because what happened,
I don't
might
take
as well get off this crap because it doesn't
Ozempic.
explain it properly. Because what
I
happened,
guess I like being fat,
is
maybe, I
these
guess, or
countries are very
healthy, or
smart.
something like that. I'm
and
not
the
sure.
drug companies would go to them and they said, look, we're paying $10 for
Dixie
the pill. We're not
is
paying
here.
more.
Welcome.
Charge America.
Hey,
And this
hey,
happened
just so you guys know,
one time.
on shorts,
Next
if
year,
you're a
next year,
moderator
this
on
is over
somebody's
40
channel,
years. All of a sudden,
if you're a
I paid
moderator,
$10 for a pill.
you
We're
can't
paying
comment. You have to go to your
like
liked
$130
comments after
for the
liking
same
the short.
It just happened over years, slowly.
Go to your
And
channel
got to
and
a
your
point
liked
over the last 10,
comment
12, 15 years where it just
that
was
you've liked.
unbearable.
Click on it then.
And I
Then
went
you
to
can make a
a
comment.
great
It's absolutely
executive
bizarre. It's
at
absolutely
Eli Lilly.
ridiculous.
The top man. He's a very smart guy. And I confronted
Hey,
him,
hey,
and he
Dave,
had
buddy,
the
good to
same
see you.
line that they always had, blah, 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 research
Welcome.
and development.
Everybody
I said, look,
subscribe to
brother,
each
we're gonna
other's
stop
channels
this
here. Drop
nonsense.
all the.
We're paying
Everybody,
10 times
please.
more
That would
for
be
things
up.
that-
Stupid humans here.
It's not research and development. And if
Be
it is
careful of
research and
him.
development, they should pay their fair share
He
share of
is
that too.
off his
And
rocker
he said to me, and he's a
a
great
lot.
guy, he said, look,
Somewhat with
you're right, we can't defend it anymore. I said, you're admitting?
different
Because these guys had
officials in
a
the
stand- all
country,
of them.
maybe.
They must have taken a class together. Must have been, this is probably illegal what they did, Lola, you'll check it, right?
Yes,
They must have gone to
I.
school together and said, this is the way we're
I
gonna fight
forgot
this
who.
crazy drug.
Actually,
Where the
Stupid
United
Human's
States pays
buddy,
10, 12, 13 times more for a drug.
Fallen,
Same drug.
did a video
Same
about
drug
it,
made
how
in the
nobody
same
can
plant.
comment on shorts.
And he said, here's the problem
And
we have.
if you go to
The
your
nations
liked
are bleeding.
comments after, of
When
course,
we go in and
liking
say,
my wonderful
we have to give you
comments,
an increase. They say, no.
you can go to your
we're
channel,
not
hit
America, we're
liked
not paying you
comments,
anything. And they said,
then
we're
you can
subscribed.
comment.
And they actually shut us off from
Jeez.
selling the drug. And it just happened over and over again. It got a little worse, a little worse, a little worse. All of a sudden, we're paying many times
Good to
more
see you,
for
Dave.
this. I said, well, it's not going to happen anymore. He said,
You guys,
"The problem
go
is,
ahead
sir,
and
you'll
drop
never get the
everybody's
nations
channel if
to
nobody's
agree. It's impossible. They're very tough, and they are.
great.
And they'd have to agree to a
CC,
doubling or
dog-
tripling
wonderful
of their drug
dog.
prices in order to get you down.
Channel.
Because the world is a bigger place than us.
She's a great
So
dancer.
it's not like you cut it in half.
Yeah, so go-
Actually, if they raised it a little bit, we'd go down.
Out of God,
a
go
lot.
to
You
your
understand? I
liked
think people
comments on
understand
your
that. So you raise
channel,
it, like from 10 to
and
$20,
then you can click
or 10 to
or click on
$30, but we go
your
from
liked
130
comments,
down to
and
30.
then you can
We're down to 20.
comment, I guess.
So, because the numbers are much bigger, the numbers on their side are much bigger. So they'd need a doubling. Or tripling.
Tennessee, that was
quadrupling.
funny, actually.
Now, if you're the head of France, the last thing you want to do is say, I'm going to quadruple
all right.
the cost of a drug.
Hey,
And that's the
stupid
way it
humans.
is. But I said, I know, but it's not fair. And this is taking place. And the head of Eli Lilly, and I really mean it, an unbelievable executive, unbelievable guy, one of
Yeah,
the most
so if
successful
you go to your
companies, and
channel,
who's, by the way,
hit
spending
liked
hundreds of
comments
billions of
on
dollars
your
right now. He's
channel,
building, he told me the
and
other
then I
day, he's building
guess you can
6 major plants in the United
comment.
States. You know why he's doing that? Because of tariffs.
I
He's
guess
doing that
that
because of tariffs. Without
somebody
tariffs,
told
he
me,
wouldn't be
or
doing it.
Fallen
Nobody
did a video
understood
on
tariffs
it,
until I came along.
and
Nobody
Rami
understood, other
said,
than
"Yep, that works." So you
President
got to go to
McKinley.
your
He understood
channel
him
to
a long
comment.
time
I don't
ago,
understand
and
it either,
because of
but
him, we were the
humans,
richest
mind your
nation
manners
we ever
about this
were at
guy
that point
right
of
now,
time.
please.
And then when he died, he was assassinated. Teddy Roosevelt came over
Let him ban your
in
channel, not mine.
Winchester, and he built the
See what I
Panama
mean?
Canal, which is the single most expensive thing ever built in the history of the United States, relatively. We spent what would be the equivalent of $5 trillion building the Panama Canal. It was also the most successful thing probably we've ever built, and to this day. And then Jimmy Carter gave it away for $1.
You can make that
This is the same
comment.
theory we have on
That's
favorite nations.
your
The great
opinion,
Jimmy
but
Carter,
keep
President
it,
Jimmy Carter gave it away for
can you
$1.
dance on the
He
line a
asked
little bit? Just dance,
38,000
tiptoe, back and forth,
men. In those days,
whatever.
it was men. I have to say, this,
Just
but
do that.
mostly men. They didn't have a lot of women workers
I know
in
it's
the
hard
Panama
for you to,
Canal. But we
tiptoe. You
lost
always want to
38,000
throw
people.
an anchor all the way down
They
into the
died from
pond. But,
malaria
sometimes it's okay
and
to
snake
just
bites.
put some
It's a
toes in a
combination of
little
that. A
bit and
vicious
stuff
snake,
like
one of the
that,
most vicious. You get hit, you're dead. They died from snake bites. 38,000. They paid workers from the United States three
The guy
times
was
more than they
live, you
paid to come
dick.
over to Panama and dig. For many of them,
Look,
that was
bro.
not a good deal. They died, 38,000. We gave it away for that. But that same stupidity having to do with the Panama Canal, and I can tell you about
Here's another
100 other
thing.
stories.
You can go with someone
I don't have
else.
time. But
So
that's
there's
what went
that. If
into
you want to
this whole thing with
roll that
favored
route
nations.
today.
So Europe and other nations
Good morning,
all
Margate.
over the world were
Hey,
getting
thanks for coming in
drugs
last night. That
from
was
the
fun,
same
man.
plant, same factory, same everything, same location, everything, same company, for a tiny fraction of what we're paying. So our people were paying a tremendous amount.
Dude, man.
So the gentleman from Eli Lilly and others, we had a group meeting, and they all finally put up their hands. He got us. We give up. And they were great from that time. But we had a problem. The other nations weren't going for it. France turned
Oh,
it
good.
down. Germany turned it down.
Go watch
The
somewhere
UK
else. Watch
turned it down.
fucking CNN or
European
whatever.
Union turned it down.
Since
The
you don't
whole
like Fox or any
group.
of them. Or don't watch it all.
And they said, there's nothing you can do about it, sir.
Shit.
And I said, yes, there is. No, there isn't. You'll never be able to get them up. You'll never, I mean, the whole industry is going to be torn apart. I said, we'll get them up easily. Are you crazy? Of course we'll get them up. That's what I do for a living. I get people up.
I don't think he's going to take any
So, I called,
questions,
I
though,
started with
man. Looks like
President
he's in
Macron
one of
of
those.
France, and a very nice person. I like him a lot. I hope he's listening because he doesn't believe that, but I do. He's a nice man. And I said, Emmanuel.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes,
He is.
Donald, thank you so much for calling.
He shouldn't
I
be.
said, you're not going to like this call. You're going to have to get your drug prices up. No, 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 no. I will not do that. I said, Emmanuel, we're paying 13 times more than, 13 times, not 13%. 13 times more than you are for this pill. I rattled off some numbers that are crazy. You know the numbers I'm talking about, Oz. Oz would give me
Yeah.
some numbers. I'd say, this is
Slide,
crazy.
Margate.
We're paying 10 times, 12 times, 13 times. No, 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 I will not do that. I said, look,
I guess I'm going
you've got
to
to
start,
do it. 100% you're going to do it. No, no,
with all
Donald,
this
I
stuff
told
going
you, I
on
will not do
everywhere.
that. I said, here's the story, Emmanuel. If you don't do
Just
it,
be
I'm going to put a 25% tariff on all goods, wine,
My middle
champagnes,
name
and
will now
everything
be
else coming into the
Bao.
United States of America. He said, Donald, I would love to do this for you. It would be a great honor to do it. And that's where it began. And I went through country after country. Susie was responsible for getting every one of those leaders on the thing. Susie, by the way, stand up, Susie. She is doing such a good job. She's the first.
Show Susie.
She's the first female chief of staff.
Oh, here we
and
go.
She might be the best chief of staff too, but she's doing a great job. Thank you, Susie.
Oh.
So Susie got him on, and I
Chief
just
of
went
staff.
one after another. I called Germany. No, 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 we will not do that. I said, no, we're going to put a 25% tariff, which is, by the way, about 7 times more than they would have to pay by raising their drug, like 7 times. This wasn't like a little bit more. 7 times more. And I may do that for Greenland too. I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security. So I may do that. I'll give you a little. I'll take you out of that. In fact, that'll end up being the story. But actually, this is a much bigger story because we're reducing healthcare by numbers that you haven't seen. So I spoke to the
This
top
is
10
going to be one
countries.
hell of a man,
They
and
all
it's
said
cold
no, and within
now.
about 2
Just
minutes, they all
wait.
agreed. And we were off to the
So I
races.
said, Rami
And
brought up the
now
midterms last
we have
night, and I went, oh, Lord, wait a
favored
minute.
nations. It's called most
I said, yeah,
favored
that's right.
nations.
This,
So
oh, and
if
here's another
France
thing.
is paying, let's say
It's
$20 or
this
$30
this
instead of $10,
September will be the
we're going to pay that
25th
20 or 30. We
anniversary
pay
of September
the
11th
lowest price,
this
whatever
year.
the lowest price is.
So what's
So
going
if
on
France is
now
paying
everywhere,
$100,
let
but
alone
Germany's paying $20,
it's
we pay what
freezing
Germany
everywhere,
pays.
all this
So we
protest
go
going,
from a
wait till
horrible
spring happens.
situation of
Wait till summer
drugs,
happens.
prescription drugs,
Holy moly, this
to
this
the
is
lowest price anywhere in the world.
very,
So
very,
for upsetting
very
us, because they're going to blame you. If
dangerous.
you want to correct me, you can, but you know you won't be here for long if you do. You're correct.
I mean, this is
left employment.
man.
No, but is that a correct statement?
That's an absolutely correct statement. And that's what we want to codify in the great healthcare plan.
Yeah.
Because
That's
if
right.
the president's not here, there's a flight risk with these companies not obliging us anymore, because I think it's the strength of your personality, but also they know they will follow through with the threats if we don't act. So we believe other countries will change their opinions, and so will drug companies. So we've got to get it into legislation.
Well, if you
Other
have the wrong
countries
president,
with
the
their
countries have
threats.
tremendous influence over us. You know, they
Okay,
look.
that's
Why did we go to an income tax system instead of a tariff system? We had the wealthiest nation. If you go back to the 1800s,
when you say comments like that,
1887, we had
other
money,
countries
so much
with
money,
their
we didn't know what to
threats.
do with it. But
So
the countries
that
at time,
terminology-
same, no different. They have a tremendous influence over this country for whatever reason I don't know, but they do. So if you have the wrong
Is
president, they'll
not
change the system
the
in 2 minutes.
right
I mean, they'll change it.
terminology, and that's how
they're
they'll-
powerful too. You have to deal with them.
They
In this
purposely
case, it
use
was
those
both. I mean,
words,
you had a
and
problem with the drug companies, but you had a
words
tougher
mean
problem
things.
in theory, other than the fact that I understood how to deal with them. And I'm the tariff king, and the tariff king has done a great job. And I hope we win the Supreme Court case, because if we don't, be a shame for our
Daily.
country.
Thanks
Be a
for always
shame.
being
We
here,
have-
Daily, too,
we
by
have
the
a
way.
great, safe, beautiful country now.
Even though Stupid
Doing better
Humans
than
is,
we've
you
ever
know,
been.
he's
We
one
had
of those tell you
42
stupid human.
stock market
He's
highs
always
during the
surrounded with his
11
live
months that I've been here.
streams, and
There's never been anything
he's a
like it.
good
Stock
guy. I
market's
mean,
at a new high again today. So it's
he's just,
so just to end it on this, because it's such a big subject,
you know,
and it can't be explained by
he
reading.
drinks bad water,
As
I
good as my
think.
speechwriter is, he's
I think
fantastic,
he
but he
drinks
can't
a lot
write
of
it
bad
in one
water.
sentence what we're talking about. So we're going to get most favored nations. We will be taking prescription drugs down to levels never even contemplated, and that's all great for healthcare, because when you're paying a tiny fraction of what you had anticipated paying prior to today.
And he doesn't
prior to this
exercise enough,
month,
too,
this
by
all
the
took
way.
place over the last month
He
and a
needs
half.
more exercise.
And the
He
sad
has
part
told
is
me
that
personally
when we
himself,
first
he'll walk
announced
to the
it,
door
and we
thinking
did it
about
in
going
a little
outside,
bit
and then
less,
take
more
one step and
general
go,
form. Well,
oh
the
no,
first
I don't want to
announcement,
be
the
outside.
Times
I'm not
did a
saying he's
story on
closeted or
page
anything,
22
or
or
like
something,
a
way
house
back in the-
These are
the
the top three
guy,
scams people are
but
falling
he
for
needs
right
to
now. States on number 3.
he needs to do a little bit more on the outside of the day.
a,
You know,
a
on the
small
day,
fraction
you
of
go
what
outside,
we
sir.
informed last month. And I tell the story of my first term. I was the one after 28 years
Frank,
that got drug
good to
prices
see you,
down.
Frank.
It was either 1/4 or 1/8 of 1%.
Good to see you, buddy.
I got him down for the year. First time in 28 years.
Spirit,
I was
good
so
to see
proud
ya.
of myself. I
Hey,
called the news
welcome,
conference. I
everyone.
said, ladies and gentlemen,
We're
for the
watching
first time
this
in 28
guy,
years, drug
Trump,
prices have gone down. for the
President Trump,
year. 1/8 of a point. In fact, I had a chart. It was the
Because-
worst chart I've ever seen. It was a line that went from January to December, and it was dead straight. You had to get a little, like a.
what I need is questions,
1/4 of a point or 1/8 of a
which
point.
I don't
time.
think he will.
And now think of what we're doing. We're bringing medicine down by many times. By many times. Nobody's ever seen. And there are two ways of calculating. You could say 1,000%, 2,000.
It was
or you
on
could
the
say
roof.
90%
Hold on a
or
minute.
80%. The Democrats want you to say.
Oh
90
yeah,
or 80%.
hey,
Two
Happy
ways
New
of
Year to
calculating
you
it.
too, buddy.
You understand that, Dan? And we'll take either way, it doesn't
He's
matter.
a West
But
Coaster.
we'll be paying a tiny fraction. So that's going to go into our plan. And what
The West
I said is
Coaster, or he's a,
very important.
well, he's
that
out by me out here in
whoever
the
is
West.
in this office is, strong and intelligent.
Oh, there's Kim in
And
Wisconsin.
if they're not, they could.
Please
could
support
be in it.
her.
But what we want to
Guys,
do
share
is we want to
her
have it
channel as
codified,
well.
So it's very hard to
We need to get her some,
change.
a little bit of
And that's all
subs.
part of the process. I think it's the greatest revolution
She needs,
because it's financial is, a big part of the drugs, and all of
There's
the doctors sitting there
gardening
know
and
exactly what I'm talking about. They have
Dave's
their
up in
patients Europe, and they say,
Massachusetts.
I can't believe it. I'm buying the same thing for, 15%
Stupid
of what I
humans
pay
on the
in
moon.
New York or in Chicago,
and I'm
and they're all nodding their heads. That's
Utah.
right. That's not going to happen anymore. We pay now, just to end it, the lowest price.
Drop
in the
everybody's
world,
channel if you could,
whatever
man.
that
I'm,
is, that's what the United States of America.
uh-oh, here,
will be. Isn't that
uh-oh.
amazing?
Trouble's arrived a
Long
little
story.
bit.
I was going to say long, boring.
Texas
It's not boring. To
Scout
me, it's long
in
and
the
exciting.
house.
It's the biggest thing to happen to healthcare. I don't think
Watching
there's anything
Trump.
we can do. We can do all of our different methods, but there's nothing we can do that can ever
Oh, he's
top
on
what
the
we do.
rough
And the
exercising.
press should treat it fairly instead of not writing about it, because they don't write about it because it's me.
I wouldn't want to see him
Primarily because it's me, but also
exercise.
because it's
Nobody wants
Republican.
to see
And they
me
don't write about it.
exercise.
So they should be
Oh,
ashamed.
I
But
mean,
fortunately, the
I
public
do take the dogs
understands
for a
it, and
walk.
that's why we won the election in a landslide. So it's a great thing. Instead of Americans paying the highest drug prices anywhere in the world by far, by 10 times sometimes, we'll now pay the lowest cost paid by the lowest nation. So the lowest nation, whatever that is, I hope they negotiate a great deal.
Please
I hope
subscribe
somebody
to
out there
her
of all
channel.
those
Please
nations
subscribe
gonna be a better
to text
negotiator
everybody.
than everybody else.
You
And
know,
whatever
hey,
they
Dave, get
we
busy,
Mike.
man.
Is that
Drop
pretty
some
good?
damn channels,
Good,
bro.
Mike. Even though the first time I've ever seen him smile. And next,
Somebody
our plan would
do
reduce
something
your
here.
insurance premiums by
Get to
stopping
work,
government
something.
payoffs to big insurance companies and sending the money directly to the people. So instead of, and this started, and I'm not really a healthcare maven, but I was always a good businessman. It started, I'm reading the paper and I see the money that the insurance companies
not really
were
a
making from
healthcare
us
maiden,
on Obamacare.
but I'm a good
And
businessman.
they're up by 1,000%.
Somebody clip that.
16, I think one was up 1,723%. 1,700%. And it's because of the massive amount of money that's sent to them by the United States government. And I said, why don't we just send it directly to the people instead? And I made that statement. It was a common sense statement. I didn't check with anybody. I didn't even call Oz or anybody. It just made sense. I made a statement, and it went viral. Can you believe it? It was so popular. In other words, we cut out the insurance companies. They're making a fortune. And, they're good people. They're business people. I don't blame them. But we cut them out. We pay the money directly to the people. The people love it. I said it, I said
Later,
it as a
stupid humans.
non-professional in that business. And I made the statement like, all of a sudden, it's like the biggest story, that one, the biggest story. And I get a call from Caroline, who's around here someplace. She said, sir, we're getting inundated. Margot called me too. Margot called me too. Margot, everyone knows Margot. She's been here from the beginning.
Stupid humans
Right from the
has,
beginning. But
he's,
he said,
he's
sir,
got
both
some
of them.
real kind
He
of
said, sir, we're being inundated by
interesting.
what? You made a statement about health care being paid directly to the people into health savings accounts or whatever you want.
He's against
Healthcare
everybody.
accounts.
he
And I said,
he doesn't leave the house much, so I could see why. I mean,
It's
he's
crazy.
against
It's
everybody.
blown up. People loved it.
So
And so that's where we started. So Obamacare was designed to make insurance companies rich. It really was. I mean, maybe not knowingly at the time by Obama, because he didn't know much about this stuff. It was designed by other people in Congress that are total pros that are bought off by the insurance companies. And the problem we'll have with this is we'll get no Democrat votes, even though it should be very bad for them if they don't. But maybe you'll get some. You'll call some of your friends, fellas, and Bob, you'll call some of your friends over on the other side. I don't know how they can reject it. It's just so popular. It's so compelling. So Obamacare was designed to make insurance companies rich with taxpayer
That's right, Lynn.
subsidies, and I want that extra money straight to the health savings accounts for you. And you can choose your own health care. You go out and negotiate your own health care. It makes people entrepreneurs, mini entrepreneurs. They'll pick the health care that's best for them because it doesn't need person needs, and vice versa. To further reduce insurance premiums, my plan ends the giant kickbacks to insurance brokers
An old
and corporate
person.
middlemen.
What did
We're
he?
getting rid of the middlemen. How long have you heard doctors? All these doctors over
I
there
think
look
he's
so
damn near
smart.
80. My
They're all
mother's
brilliant
80. So.
people. I assume you're brilliant.
Oh,
Otherwise
there's
you
John.
wouldn't be
Hey,
here, right? I assume
Jonathan's
we have
in
the
here.
best.
Zilly's
We
in
have the
here.
best of the doctors, I would imagine, right? Hey,
He's up
how
north by
cool is
you,
the White House? Okay. They're always in operating rooms. I
Dave.
wouldn't want to be in an I don't like operating rooms, but they do. But how cool is the White House, right? The coolest place on earth. And this is where it all begins. This is where we came up with a little concept about a place called Venezuela. How did that work out? And this is going to be the same thing in terms of its precision. Its importance is so big, it's going to work just like that.
Hey, Mob Rats. Hey, you guys, there's my
Venezuela
buddy
was
Mob Rats. There.
so amazing.
Please post
But I
his
equate that
channel.
to other things because we can do other
Subscribe
things like that. It
to.
doesn't always have to be
I've
in
known Mob
Minnesota
Rats for a long time. He's a great
where
friend of mine.
everything is corrupt.
About
Where
a
they have
long time,
healthcare
10
centers
years.
and nobody shows up and somebody's making millions of dollars. Where they have daycare centers where there are no kids. It's a scam. It's a big scam. It's like a horrible thing. We have a country that was great. We have a country that's now great again. It's really
Thanks,
it's really
everybody.
come
We're
a
just.
long way. Make America Great Again is almost going to be obsolete because
I want to see if. Yeah. Yep. There's.
we were going to keep America great. We may have to switch to keep America great, but I don't know. There's something about MAGA we should never change. It's Susie said, "Don't change." We like MAGA. Everybody likes.
Thank
MAGA.
you, guys. I
so we want to
appreciate
make
that.
this precision.
Let's see if he
Just
takes
like
any questions,
Venezuela,
though. That's
just
what I
like
was.
the attack on the Iran nuclear weapons, which wiped that out, just like all of the other things we do, they're precision. We want to make it the opposite of Minnesota, California, and all these places that are so badly run. So to further reduce insurance premiums, my plan ends the giant kickbacks to those insurance brokers and corporate middlemen that you've been hearing about for so long. It also funds the so-called cost-sharing reduction program to bring down the cost of the most common plans on the exchanges by more than 15%. And next, the great healthcare plan mandates unprecedented accountability and transparency from insurance companies and all healthcare providers.
Accountability
We want
and
transparency. You're not allowed to
transparency.
ask a doctor how much is it going to cost.
That's what
You're
we
gonna have your
talk about
heart
every
ripped out,
day around here.
and you're not allowed to negotiate. This is a giant scam. It's in certain ways, look, nothing can compare to most favored nations. But when you give yourself the right to negotiate, you're not allowed to even ask how much it costs. You're supposed to go into a hospital and get operated on. Then they send you a bill and you have to file for bankruptcy. Not going to let that happen. So we're going to have insurance companies and healthcare providers going to have great, and hospitals, great transparency. The word transparency is a very important word.
It's
So
a
they can't
very
get away with
important
ripping you off any
word.
longer. It requires insurance companies to make it easy for you to compare plans. You got to be able to compare plans. You can't do that now. You're not allowed to do that. It's not even believable. I tell you what. I used to sit.
They're finally using all
and I
the
used to
words
say,
that
how
we
is that
use
possible?
every day.
Things
Accountability and
happen that-
transparency.
I
Wow.
guess it's just the
Interesting.
forces of nature, the forces of power, and you end up with very, very badly treated people, and they won't stand for it. But these forces are going to release
They're really using
an earthquake
our
of reduced price health care.
words all the
You're going to
time.
have massively reduced costs. This is no
They
longer
don't
we're going
use-
to cut
they-
it by the famous 1/8 of
They
a point.
regularly
You're
don't
gonna have
use these words. We
massively
do.
reduced health care, and it's going to be massively better. You're going to have great health care at a much lower price, which is the two things. We want great health care and we want low price. You're going to have great health care at low price. Terrible health care at a high price. You have horrible, horrible Obamacare health care. Like everything else he did, it was crap. It was a horrible plan. It was from day one and should have never been approved. It was a very sad night that night when there was a thumb raised. Most importantly, will require any hospital or insurer who accepts Medicare or Medicaid to prominently post all prices. You're going to post your prices at their place of business.
Hey, thanks,
Something they don't have to do,
Frank.
something
Thanks
they're
for
not
coming
even
in, buddy.
allowed to do. We'll
Much
have the
appreciated.
maximum
Great
price
work, by the way.
transparency, and the cost will come down just by that. Not even talking about favored nations. The price will come down. So just in conclusion, I'm calling on Congress to pass this framework.
Yeah, big
into
things
law
coming up, man.
so that we can get immediate relief to the American people, including rural America. And I hope to get Democrat votes. They know.
Frank's
saw it.
hilarious,
I know a lot
by the
about
way.
it.
Hopefully somebody
And
posted his
they
channel.
say that plan is unbelievable. Are you going to vote? Well, you're going to try. They have tremendous pressure on them. Vote no. Vote no. We have a couple of Republicans. Thomas Massey always votes no. He's like, something wrong with the guy. If you have any clinical psychiatrists in there, maybe go check out his mind. But he always votes no. He's a very bad person. He's a very bad Republican.
Thank
bad
you.
American.
Yeah,
When
thank you,
always
Zilly.
just vote
Appreciate
no.
it, buddy. Thanks,
Do
Jonathan.
you approve? No. You know, there's not a thing you can say to him either, Lola. Look, Lola wants to be nice. He likes to get along with everybody. I don't. But they vote no. But so I don't know. You know, you have some people, they're very, I call him Rand Paul Jr. Rand Paul always votes. I don't know why he votes no, but I guess he thinks it's good politics. I got him elected twice. If I didn't endorse him, he wouldn't have been elected. But he doesn't reciprocate, and I guess that's okay. But I want to hear now.
And
if I
all
could,
immunity.
from
Good
Dr.
to see
Oz,
you.
and then we're going to
Good to
have
see you,
Dan
brother.
Sullivan
Welcome.
say a few words, and Rob and Mike and
Thanks for
Governor
tuning
will
in.
say a few words, and we appreciate you being here very much. You're doing a fantastic job. I just want to leave by saying that this is the biggest thing to ever happen to healthcare in our country. It will not be covered that way by the fake news. That's a sad thing. It will probably not be voted positively by the Democrats, and that's a sad thing. They all know how good it is. I think we can make healthcare into a Republican issue because the Republicans are going to be close to unanimous on this. It should be unanimous. Maybe we will be unanimous.
Make
but it'll be
healthcare
close.
into a
But we have
Republican
a small majority. We probably need a little bit of help from the Democrats. So whatever we can do, we're going to do
issue.
it. It's the biggest thing to happen to healthcare, maybe from the beginning. So Oz, would you take it away, please? Thank you very much.
Uh-oh.
Mr. President,
Oh, questions. Whoa, here we go. Whoa. Oh,
Mr.
maybe
President,
not.
thank you for standing up for American health care. And I just want to underline this fundamentally important issue. We need Congress to help craft the Great America Health Care Plan. And the Great Health Care Plan will work. It's a brilliantly conceived framework. And as it comes to the American people, they
The
understand
Dr.
they'll like it.
Oz
And it
nation.
should represent the analogous situation, similar to what you did so brilliantly last spring with the working families tax cut legislation that the president has created. The
The middleman don't look happy. Mr.
Mr.
Kennedy doesn't look happy.
Texture around why this is such an important issue because
You don't look too
the Rural
happy.
Health Transformation Fund is the largest investment ever in American history.
Space Miner, good to
in
see
our
you, brother.
rural
Welcome.
communities.
You're right, brother.
50% increase in the amount of money that Medicaid, which Secretary Kennedy and I regulate, into our rural communities. $50 billion. You can do the math. It's $1 billion per state, and that's an important factor because it got them competing. There's 60 million rural Americans. And these folks do not have access to the same care that's available in urban and suburban America. Their life expectancy, if they're in a vulnerable situation, is 9 years shorter. Because your zip code actually is your destiny. It determines how long you're going to live, and we can make a dent in this because the high rates of chronic disease and other ailments that plague our rural areas are often driven because they don't have access.
Thanks for
to
coming
care.
in, everybody.
That's gonna
Space
change
Miner
because
up.
of the Sentinel
Biscuits and
legislation.
Groovy,
And
good to
again,
see you.
It's
Welcome.
similar teams, the same leadership, same president, same Congress that passed the working families tax cut legislation, which is incredibly popular around the country and will make the great health care plan successful as well. From the day the legislation was signed to create this wonderful fund, this transformational fund, the team at CMS, which is under Secretary Kennedy, began working. And they're here today. Steph Carlton, outstanding Chief of Staff, Alina Chekai, and Emily Chan. That day started working. It was July the 4th, by the way, on the specific vision for the program. Out the door in 6
your
months.
money.
The president was
Yeah.
insistent, did not want the money in Washington. So we began working closely to make sure that we use the money not as a Band-Aid, but to empower those closest to the 50 people who know rural health care the best, the governors. They wanted the money out of Washington into the governor's hands, and that was done in a remarkable way. The governors thought big. We have one here from Nebraska who was actually the first to start working on community engagement, which is part of that legislation as well. But we have to right-size healthcare.
Community
in rural
engagement as far
America,
as.
and that's an important phrase. All 50 states submitted amazing ideas to transform rural
That's
healthcare
part of
in
the-
ways that should have been done decades
That bill
ago.
as well,
The CMS
really.
team awarded each team their portion of the $50 billion investment precisely with the same precision that we took Venezuela leadership, convicted individual, and with Iran as well, the same precision on time before the end of the year, and got it out of Washington into the states. Now I want to take a step back and do a little thought experiment, Mr. President, if you want to do this. If you, and God forbid this happened, had turned your head the other way in Butler, Pennsylvania, it wouldn't have been an ear injury.
Here we go.
Now, I've been to Butler. I'm from Pennsylvania. Butler General Hospital is a good hospital. They don't have neurosurgery there. If you have an injury to the head, you have a golden hour to get cared for. You were taken to Butler General Hospital. Because the injury, thankfully, was not as lethal as it was designed to be, it wasn't a problem. But if you'd had a head injury, you could have had your life saved. But without a neurosurgeon, and there is no neurosurgeon at Butler General Hospital, unfortunately, you wouldn't have an option because Pittsburgh is a far, far ride away. That's the closest metropolitan area where there are lots of neurosurgeons. But with this bill, this legislation rather, this funding of $50 billion, Pennsylvania got
A helicopter gets Pittsburgh in 20 minutes.
Telemedicine hookups, even telerobotic surgery that would allow an injured individual in a car accident or any other reason that is a head injury in Butler General and rural hospitals across the country to access the best care our nation has to offer.
Come on. I don't want all this. That.
First to our nation.
Fired up my laptop. We're now going to be the news channel. That's what we're going to be doing.
It's actually transforming using technology.
I am the
in
news,
urban America,
or, some of us are anyway.
In rural America, each state competed aggressively because for $1 billion, Mr. President, will fight pretty hard. And they gave us brilliant ideas that they're talking with each other about. So we're actually creating teams that now across state lines will connect because they're all Americans. And
yeah, please drop your link, guys.
On several pillars. Secretary Kennedy can talk about MAHA because there's MAHA elements to this as well.
It will not
very
be
precisely sustainable access. We ask states, how can we bring top care closer, like in the thought experiment I gave you for Butler General.
Tweak
in Pennsylvania,
fest
North Carolina,
things.
their regional spoke.
That's other guys'
and
jobs.
Means you've got a big hospital in the city, and they adopt or work closely.
But my middle
with
name
the
is
rural
Val,
hospitals
so there's
to solve the challenges of fragmented care.
Thanks,
And that
Jonathan. I
actually
appreciate it,
works.
buddy.
You share administrative, back office work. You group purchase your stuff. You save money. You
Oh,
exchange
Jethro's
medical
Maddie's.
records to counties. So they're doing something pretty
Boy,
cool.
Kennedy does not
They're
look
actually
happy,
having
though.
robots
He's
do
not
ultrasounds on these
he's usually a
pregnant
little bit
moms.
more.
So we can actually get those images back to the big center. So we know if the child has a problem, and we know if that mother's at risk. We have one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the world, in the country with the best medicine in the world. So often stated, people ask us, does healthcare stink in America? Well, they don't like it. Would you leave America to get healthcare elsewhere? Nobody leaves. We have the best
Laptop
healthcare.
overheated last night, and I had it on the charger all
As an aside, by the way, we've talked
night,
about
so
the most favored
hopefully
nation drug pricing. One of the first
Thank
countries
you.
in areas we use.
Oh,
most favored
like,
nation
share,
drug
and
pricing
subscribe,
is
too, by the way.
drugs. That's why
You
we're
know,
going to have so
do
many
that
pump
thing.
babies. Because we've dropped dramatically.
Oh, and
the most expensive
I
part of the
absolutely
fertility
have my
space.
hat on,
And
just
so
so you know.
Americans no longer will pay so many times more. In that case, it was 10 times
Maybe.
more for the
Not
same
really
fertility
sure.
drugs that they're available
Possibly.
for moms who want to get pregnant in Europe.
My
I want to
hairdresser's
thank Terry,
not
who's
here
here as
yet.
a nurse practitioner, Andrew is a doctor, West Virginia, New
Yeah, we
Mexico.
created
They're
the problem.
representatives
Here's
of
the- yeah, no
workforce of
shit.
rural America. But there are only two of them here.
And here's the
representing them because
solution.
We don't have enough people working in
Yeah,
rural
that's a
America.
good- that's very
It's a big
funny.
challenge. So Delaware is creating its own medical school, their first ever medical school in a rural part of the state. So that can get more local talent that will stay local. in
Yes,
those parts.
Jessica
Michigan
Garza,
is
welcome
launching
everyone
the high school to
from the
healthcare
Lorana
pipeline
Corporation.
grant program. They want
We
to
are
take
now
kids out of high school
streaming
in Michigan, local
to
rural
let
communities,
everyone know
and get them into the system.
what
Get them trained as nurses, 'cause they'll
we
stay
are
at
in
home
charge
'cause
of,
they're from those
and we're
communities, and
going
they'll save lives for
through
decades there.
the
These are the
topics
types of
one by
programs
one
that can get our
today.
rural communities and economies up to high gear and keep it that way long after this 5-year funding is done. And finally, tech innovation. Rural communities would benefit the most from high-tech advances, like we just discussed, as possibly if there was a head trauma case. Many states want to partner with our CMS data interoperability network, was created by Amy Gleason, who spearheaded so much of the technology transformation in our government. It's going to support the president's pledge to provide transparency that he mentioned as part of the great healthcare plan. And Congress can ensure these are all available for decades to come if we can get this legislation through. As in the tech innovation forefront, just to give you a couple examples, Texas and Hawaii are making targeted investments in statewide telehealth, so everybody has telehealth. The best doctors for the best knowledge.
Telehealth.
Where you are, we'll meet you where you are.
Best doctors in
depressed,
telehealth.
You're thinking of taking your life, we'll be there. Just let us know you're in trouble and we'll help. Alaska wants to deploy, and I'm going to hand it to Senator Sullivan in a second.
Okay, I've not heard that term, telehealth. Maybe it's
and drones
yeah.
that will deliver medications, because in the North Slope of Alaska, you can't.
They
get
just
there
want
this time of
everybody
year.
in their house.
They exist. Why are we using them in Midtown
And,
Manhattan?
you know,
We should use them
telehealth.
in
Just stay
rural
home.
Alaska.
And
this administration is committed to collaborating with all
and
50
because we'll do a
states, all
telehealth
50, red and blue.
teleconference.
All 50 states to carry out bold plans to tackle the challenges that local communities face. We're not pouring funds blindly, however, into a broken system. We're going to carefully, precisely, as the president said, target this investment. With healthcare fund running rampant, and I was in Minnesota this week, Mr. President. It's worse than we've heard. But Minnesota, pardon the pun, is just the tip of the iceberg. California is the varsity team when it comes to fraud.
Man, thank you.
We're not going to let that happen. We want transparency for this $50 billion investment. We owe it to Capitol Hill. We owe it to this president, and we want accountability to be a top priority. For that reason, we've created a Office of Rural Health Transformation.
Anybody with content, please
oversight. The office
drop
led
it
by,
and keep
Alina,
going.
Check Alina again was one of the people who helped create this
Well,
program.
Dave's a great guy. He's up there in
administration, Mr. President. She's going to guide states in
Minnesota.
implementing.
Or not Minnesota. Dave's not in Minnesota. He's in Massachusetts. I keep saying Minnesota because that's on my mind. So definitely not in Minnesota.
We're going to help.
Thank God he's not in Minnesota.
You've got lots of lives at risk. It's a true state-federal partnership. Unbelievable. Extraordinary milestone for healthcare. Your zip code will no longer dictate whether you have excellent healthcare. Your zip code will no longer be your destiny. It's not going to dictate your life expectancy. Mr. President, I cannot thank you enough for the leadership that it took to get this $50 billion investment in rural healthcare. They don't make a lot of noise. They just want to get the job done. You stood up for them in Congress. God bless you for making this possible.
Remember,
please do it again.
25th anniversary of 9/11. Just everybody keep that in your head this year, no matter what, because
thank you,
with
Dr.
the stuff going on and that approaching, a quarter century
and Mr. President,
of that
I am
incident.
very honored to be here. This is a really exciting day. I want to thank you, sir, and your team. Worked really closely with Dr. Oz, Secretary Kennedy, many others. This is a great example of
that's
how Congress,
my advice,
working closely with your administration, can achieve
food and water in your home and
things. This is historic for our rural health care, certainly in the Working Families Tax Cuts Act. You combine it with what you were talking about, sir, in terms of drug price reductions for all Americans. So these are two things that are happening right now in our historic, and I agree 100% with you, Mr. President, hasn't got a lot of press, even though it is historic. It's going to really impact people in rural America, especially my state, this fund that I want to talk about. But what you've done on the drug pricing is even...
And will you get Lisa Murkowski to vote for it?
She voted for it.
No, are you going to get her to vote for the great, big, beautiful health care bill that we're doing?
When we get that, I think MFN drug pricing, I bet every member of Congress votes for it.
Are you going to get her to vote for it?
We'll work on it, sir. We'll work on it. So let me actually talk a little bit about the context of what's going on in Alaska and how this relates to it. After 4 years of being locked up and shut down by the previous administration, we are on the cusp of achieving some huge goals in my state that we've been working on for decades. We have this huge resource development boom going on the North Slope of Alaska. I was with a bunch of the Inupiat, Alaska Native people who live up there. They're so excited about what's happening there. We are, as you know, Mr. President, building icebreakers. We're home porting some of those in Alaska. We have huge
drop some channels that
historic
people like.
infrastructure and economic and national security investments happening. In particular, the gas line that you have championed so much, the big LNG project. All of these things are happening. It's really exciting. By the way,
I mean, a lot of this information they're talking to about, if you don't watch this, you're or
so there's a
not
lot of excitement.
about these
But, Mr.
topics,
President,
you
in
might
addition to
miss
the
it
strong
in all
economy,
the
the
humdrum.
thousands of
So
jobs that these projects are going to have,
that's
we have to
why
have a strong healthcare system.
you
in
got to
every
listen to
state.
these
And
flipping.
rural Alaska, as you mentioned, as Dr. Oz mentioned, has often, almost always been an afterthought when it comes to investing in healthcare in America. And that's not happening anymore after the Working Family Tax Cuts Act. As you said, Mr. President, as Dr. Oz said, this is the biggest investment in rural healthcare in American history. $50 billion. The award the great state of Alaska was able to get working with Dr. Oz, and the parameters of the bill was about $1.4 billion over 5 years to transform our healthcare system. So that's really exciting, but here's a big deal.
Okay.
This is not just about money. This bill isn't just about money. The reason it's so impactful is that it's focused on letting states and governors design the system that they need. Alaska has many unique healthcare challenges, Mr. President, as you know.
And all
But
immunity
for
was a comment of the
mentality in
day,
Washington, D.C. is this approach to
which
one size fits
was,
all.
we will
DC
tell you
tells
all about
every state,
everything.
here's
We
how
are
you
going to
have
do
it. And
nothing
it
about
never
it.
works. It never works. It
That's the
certainly
comment
doesn't
of the
work
day.
in my state. I'll just give you one example. The federal
Actually.
match on Medicaid. Our state typically has the lowest match in the country, even though we have the highest healthcare costs and highest delivery costs in the country. The one size fits all doesn't work. This bill is different. This bill that we wrote with your administration is all about allowing states to design a system that works for them with CMS guidance. And this will be a generational opportunity for every state to bring health care closer to home, to make it more responsive to the people who live in that state, and make it more affordable. I'll just end with this, Mr. President. Like I said, a lot of excitement. We got Governor Dunleavy, who sends his greetings, was hosting the stakeholders in Alaska who are going to be
Kennedy
applying for these funds, working with
Oz
CMS
went out and on
in
for
our
quite a
state.
bit, but
Over the last couple of days,
Kennedy
over
would've
300
been up
people
next,
come to
but-
these meetings on how to use this transformation fund to better
Who's
healthcare
Dunleavy,
in Alaska.
Dave?
And this is going to help my
that
constituents. It's
Alaska?
going to help every American, and it is really exciting. And I want to thank again you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
President, and your team.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. We're going to have to go very fast. We're going to have to go we are way behind schedule, and I have a couple of meetings that are very important. Nothing more important than this, but let's go. Come on, Bob. Rob?
Fire round.
Please.
Mr. President, thank you very much for having me here today. And I represent northeastern Pennsylvania. You're governor from Scranton, Pennsylvania, so never had the opportunity to meet. But I inherited a very similar problem. But before I was even sworn into office, I had two hospitals, Moses Taylor and Reach, eminently facing closure. And it's been, and working with Dr. Oz, Administrator Oz, and the CMS team has been absolutely incredible. On
He's
so
getting a
many
little
levels. And thank
impatient here, you could
again,
see.
for intervening and shepherding us through that process. But when we're looking at Pennsylvania, we're going to receive
But that's probably an
$193
understatement.
million in 5
He's
years.
getting
It'll
a little
be over
antsy.
$1 billion for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And when you think about northeastern Pennsylvania, clinics and regional hospitals, rural hospitals are the backbones of our communities. So making a targeted investment that is not just going to Band-Aid over poor operational procedures. It's going to actually
He is from my
transform
area.
rural healthcare. That's
Who is
what
that,
we
the guy
are
talking,
so excited
Daly?
about. Pike County in my district is the largest growing county in the Commonwealth
Pennsylvania?
of Pennsylvania where
Yeah,
there's
you
not a
said.
hospital. The nearest community to a hospital is over 55 minutes away. So these are going to be funds that will be so imperative. The unprecedented investment is going to be incredible. And thank you for
Nearest
having me up here and being a
hospital,
part of this
an
journey.
hour
Thank you, Rob.
away.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a great
Interesting.
opportunity to be here with you and your team. Dr. Oz has been a tremendous asset The $50 billion.
Please share anybody's channels that has content here, guys, please.
New York State is going to see about
You know,
212
we all
million
need
in the
to
first year,
support
which
each
is
other.
vital for
Work.
workforce development, access to care, primary, behavioral, maternal, emergency, telemedicine, et cetera. How were we able to do it? Because we rooted out waste, fraud, and abuse in the system. Democrats will just say we cut $1 trillion in Medicaid. That's not what we did. We said you need to be eligible.
Yeah, he's
You
getting
need
impatient,
to
look.
Be a citizen. You need to work if you are able-bodied without dependent children. We reined in the provider tax and state-directed payments, which have exploded over years. And we are taking this money, not only preserving Medicaid for the IDD community, our seniors, our children, our single mothers, but we're investing it in rural health. When you look
Damn
at
it, you
Obamacare,
motherfucker. Get my
insurance
laptop
premiums
out.
have risen 96%
Should have done that
since
earlier.
Obamacare took effect. Insurance
That's dumb.
revenues up 2,000%. Mr.
Dumb to
President, you
start
are
this.
1,000% correct that the insurance companies are the problem.
Yep.
They wrote Obamacare. It's at their benefit, and the American people are being screwed. And so
55
we can
minutes
get a
away. Whoa.
bipartisan agreement on what
That's,
you are trying to do. When it comes to lowering drug prices, I will tell you, one of the largest pharmaceutical companies is in my district in Westchester County. I met with them in 2024 and I said, what would you do to lower drug prices? And the response was go after the European price controls. You are spot on taking on the price controls that have been put in place. Most favored nation is the single best thing we can do to lower prescription drug prices here in America.
Pretty hard.
The pharmaceutical companies will tell you that privately. And that is the fundamental fact. We need to go after PBM reform. Associated health care plans, we put that on the floor. Every Democrat voted against it, every Republican for it. Those would reduce costs by 11% because businesses, small businesses, would be able to pool together and purchase health care plans at a lower rate. We need to go after.
Told you he's getting impatient. Look, he's back and forth, up and down. Now he's putting his hands down.
And owning PBMs. That is what is driving up the cost of health care in this country. You've talked about IVF. I've been a big champion on this. We need to make sure the insurance companies cover it. I also have a tax bill.
That's a little concerning. This is his press conference. He should be getting.
On the drugs is critical. And you are 1,000% correct on expanding HSAs.
So antsy.
I fundamentally believe that we can address the issues with Obamacare, make sure that the American people have access to care at a lower rate. We can get a bipartisan agreement to address the EPTC with expansion of HSAs so that the money goes to the people and not the insurance companies.
I think he's 79.
We are committed to working to get this done.
Going on 80 here this year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, gigantic thank you, and thank you for your incredible leadership. Your courage gives me more courage to say it the way it is. We're working very hard in Nebraska to run government like a business. This investment into rural America, which, by the way, in all of Nebraska, you poll 85%. I don't know what the hell's wrong with the other 15, but your 85 is a pretty good number. I think, be very, very brief. This plan will allow us to do common sense, pragmatic investments in rural Nebraska, and they will be sustainable. We will make sure that we don't need another dollar after 5 years. We are working on simple things like food. Real food is good medicine. We're working on making sure that all of our veterans, Nebraska is 500 miles long, 250 miles wide. No longer are veterans going to have to drive to Omaha to get care. We're going to take care of our veterans at home. Investments in technology so we can educate our children in rural Nebraska to provide health care are really, really important issues.
Precious metals.
And I think that the other is we've developed what we call 6 regions, 1 Nebraska, and that will focus and take advantage of those. So we're working on what we have and then being able to use these resources.
Watch BC Scanner. And the Jethro put up. He is out there every night, by the way. BC Scanner is. Please subscribe to his channel.
Much help in rural Nebraska, so we're really
every night he's out there. Every night I see him come live. Please.
1 minute.
How about 30 seconds?
See?
How about 30 seconds?
See, I told you he was getting antsy, man.
Took 4 years and $100,000.
Oh, man.
AI
You
skills.
can't do that,
Renters
Mr.
in rural America.
President. It's your
It is
press
a day
conference
we're
about
so
health.
grateful. The final thing I'll say is I think about Abraham Lincoln, who also sat in this room, and I think about other presidents throughout American history. And you think about how the fundamental course of American history has changed.
I guess I'd be
in
antsy
certain
at
pivot
79
points
or
throughout
82,
history.
though.
I think about you as the peace president. 8 wars solved, more coming. I think about you as the security president, a border that is secure for the first time and more than any time in American history. I think
Jesus.
about you as the prosperity president. We talk about Kevin wages going up.
We'll give
poverty
her more
coming
than
down.
1 minute. In fact,
Oh, no,
All right,
no,
always
it's
with
not.
the jokes
she
up.
can speak
Hey,
as long as she wants.
that's smart if you're a little antsy. Come in with a
The
throw some
prosperity
jokes in
president,
there
what's
to
happening.
bring the
Think about
temperature
the
down. You can
affordability
tell.
President, everything is coming down. Inflation is coming down.
Hey,
The
thank
cost
you,
of
Jonathan. Hey,
groceries
much
is coming
appreciated.
down.
Thank you for
Fuel,
coming in
housing, et cetera.
and
Sir, today,
dropping those
in the
links.
last 2 weeks,
Everybody
you
subscribe
will go down
to
in history
his channel as
the
well.
greatest president for the health of this country in history. Think about our new dietary guidelines from
He's
Bobby
out
Kennedy
east,
and I,
up
but with your leadership,
northeast.
putting real food back in the middle
Always on
of
the
our
button with
healthcare
things.
conversation. Whole
Thank
milk
you very
for healthy
much.
kids with those dairy farmers 2 days ago. We were in Pennsylvania talking about it yesterday. And today,
Thank you,
putting the
Dave. Great
patient
guy.
and the
Everybody
doctor back
in here
charge of
is
healthcare
good. Stupid
with
humans
great
left,
leaders
so
like
you know
Governor
there's
Miller.
that.
God bless you for the leadership and all others. Thank you so
A
much.
little
sir.
crusty most of the time.
Been a great day. And Terry and Andrew, thank you. Thank you very much for being here. I hear you're just outstanding people and have really
Rabbit
helped.
Heart,
We
he's
appreciate it.
everywhere,
You wanna say
helping
something?
everybody as
Thank
well.
you,
Always
President
in.
Trump, and I would just echo everything that's been said here.
streams.
Thank you very much for what you're doing. I'm from the northwest corner of New Mexico. We also work with the Navajo Nation.
Right.
And so we have a lot of rural areas.
Northwest
in
corner.
our
She's a
state
couple
and in
hours
our
from me.
county. I'm also a county commissioner. So I take as being a nurse practitioner, a county commissioner, with a heavy weight in order to see this happen. And
Hey,
it
thank
will
you,
help
and all
prevent,
immunity. Thank you, brother.
produce
Much appreciated.
accessibility, which is a
Thanks for
huge
coming in,
thing.
man,
People
and
have to drive for
that was the
miles
comment
in
of the
order to
day,
see
actually.
a healthcare provider,
Thank you.
workforce, quality care, and sustainability for our hospitals. That's what we're looking at. We meet next week as in Santa Fe.
No, we
with our
love Dixie.
legislators.
She's out in Tennessee.
And so that
Please
is- we're
subscribe to
gonna
her
be
channel.
addressing the licensure compact
She has
as well.
They've got to clean up their elections in New
many
Mexico.
topics there
We're
that's
working.
going
Because those
on.
elections are so corrupt, it's incredible. If they clean it
Quite
up,
a bit
it
of
won't buy
corruption.
but
We'll
they
try to
have
get
really
out to
corrupt elections. So
Tennessee
I
to
think
help
if you
her
wanna
as
do this,
well.
You have to tell them to start working on that. It's unbelievably one of the more corrupt states in terms of that. But you uncorrupted, so I appreciate you being
Well,
here.
the
Terry.
northwest corner loves you.
I know.
Northwest
I know
corner of
we have
Mexico,
great
yeah.
love
A
in
few hours
New
for
Mexico,
me.
but
We'll
it's,
see about that.
The elections are so corrupt, not much you can do about it. We have that with numerous states. Thank you very much. Andrew, thank you very much. You have anything to say?
Mr. President, thank you for having me here today. It's,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
an honor to be here to represent my
Martha,
community.
sorry, yeah,
I'm from
she's
Northwest Georgia,
Dixie.
grew up in West Virginia, to represent my colleagues and my profession.
Sorry.
It's truly an honor. This
That's
is
what I
so
meant.
important to our patients, to put the physician and the patient back together and take everything else out of the middle. I practice in cardiology. You know, having efficient, effective, high-quality care is so important, and time is of the essence, and patients need to be able to have close proximity to their doctors to get the care that they deserve. Quality of care shouldn't matter about the zip code. We should be able to do what we are best at and take care of our patients on an equal playing field, and this certainly helps that. I greatly appreciate all that you've done for the American people. You are an inspiration to us. You make us believe no problem is too big to solve. I mean, you are a representative of that, and I thank you for your leadership. Thank you for this opportunity to be here, and thank you for putting healthcare at the forefront. It's so important to every patient and every family that we take care of.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Great job. Great job you both do. Amazing. I've heard unbelievable things. And doctors, in particular,
wonderful.
thank you very
Just
much for being here.
wonderful
We very
job.
much appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. It's a big story. Thank you.
That's it. I knew it. They wouldn't take any questions. Well, but it's already been like an hour or whatever, so almost exactly an hour. Let's see. From the mountains valley. Pipes America, my home, sweet home. Hey, Dad, good to see you. Thanks for coming in, brother. Much appreciated. Well, there's that, everybody. Welcome. Told you I was wearing my hat, so, there's that. What do you think of that healthcare thing? I don't know what to say about that right now relative to. We didn't even hear from Kennedy now that I think about it. Why didn't he speak? He didn't look too happy. Huh. Well, yeah, that was interesting. I just realized that he didn't speak. Maybe he didn't have a lozenge. I got Irish cream for my coffee, so that's a little bit of a lozenge. He didn't want to be. Yeah, he looked too happy, and then Oz just went off and blasted for like 5 minutes straight. What do you think of that rural? Or what do you think of just this topic that they did today? Was that? I guess we'll have to see how it's written up in the paper and on the news, and we'll have to see what the dinosaur media, says about it. The bullet points on it. Maybe you shouldn't use that word. The points on it. The points of that. Yeah, sorry, Miss Brett's stream the other day. I know he had a little stream going on. But we're all pretty busy. I put Dave to work nonstop. I wish he would get something done, but besides hang out with his dogs or stuff like that. But you gotta, okay, so if you come in and hit like on the shorts now, so everybody knows, you can't comment. So you have to go to your liked comments on your page. I'll have to do a video on it. On your page, on your channel, hit liked comments, then you can comment, I guess. You can't comment while you're on my page after hitting like, share, and subscribe, but you can go to your channel and hit like, comments, and then go, oh, now I can comment. Great. I know it takes a little bit more time on your day to come back again and make a comment, but it's better than not commenting, I'm going to say. I'd rather you make a good comment. I'm going to do a video on that because actually Fallen State over there on Stupid Humans live stream did a video. I did a video or a little short on it. And I guess I'll go into detail a little bit more. Yeah. Let's see what's Jethro said. I heard other people talking about that last night on the Vertical stream. Yeah, BC Scanner. Boy, you're always, man, that guy, every night he's banging, just like Harvey. Well, Harvey takes a few days off and then does it, but yeah, you got to go to your liked comments on your channel, and then you can comment. YouTube's great. So we're trying to move on from these dinosaur media things here in a minute. So there's Jeff Hates Pigs. Happy Fuck the Cops Day from Jeff Hates Pigs. Verada brother, much appreciated that he is valued customer of everyone, actually. Thank you very much. Susan Passy as well. She does fabulous work out there because she's the only one that goes after, that I know of, a huge channel that goes after family courts and everything. The Southern Recluse, that's good. Right on. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. I was able to comment on your shirt while on a computer. Yeah, on my channel though, I mean, I don't know. They right when I started, going after these people here, pretty hard and heavy, I got censored immediately. So, and I thought it was due to that, but I don't know. With these shorts, people kept emailing me saying they can't comment, and maybe that got, they don't want any of us talking. Well, they made a big mistake years ago, and with the free flow of information, and now they can't stop that. Obviously, it will continue because then they would have to censor themselves, and so. Oh, it worked on a computer but not on the phone. Okay, well that I didn't know. That I didn't know. But not everybody carries their laptop and their computer around. They all carry their phones. So okay, I'll do that as part of the video. Thank you. I didn't know that. So that's good to know. I guess it's just a phone issue. I guess it's just a phone kind of an issue. Huh. So, Mr. Donald Trump and now all the health people were there, and yet Kennedy didn't speak. Some other ones got to speak. It was an hour long. And so anytime something goes hot and bothered, now this ICE stuff tonight, I make some videos about, let's see, travel ones. Let's see, what does it say? Say it's for kids, people can't comment. I know if I make a video like travel ones, say it's for kids, people can't comment. Oh, so maybe it also has something to do with, okay, because yeah, I constantly hit, no, it's not for kids, at least my content. But Dave taught me to swear too much, so there's that. He won't stop swearing on his channel. So I'm trying to convince him of that, and then, or I taught him. I'm not really sure which one swears more. It's probably me, but yeah. So yeah, back to the ICE thing. Back to the ICE thing, because Minnesota, there was so many people there in the middle of the night, midnight, last night and every night, that will be that way every night, I believe, up there in Minnesota. And if they're in there freezing that many people out in the middle of the night, this will continue. And as the weather breaks, and this is just bad. That's all I'm saying. This is not good. But if, this fraud, just like End All Immunity said earlier, here, we caused the problem and we're here now to fix it. There was the old Reagan comment, we're here from the government and we're here to help you. And so they caused the problem up in Minnesota. Huge problem. Huge flipping problem. Regardless of what side of that thing you're on, that's a huge problem. And something has to be done. Now, their answer is, bring all these ICE agents and the federal government there. That's their answer to their problem that they caused. So, I mean, you can't support that either way. You can't support the problem, and you can't support what they're doing about, it's such a, it's a big problem. I mean, I don't know. Midterms. And like I said, this is the 25th anniversary of 9/11. So, I would make sure everybody thinks about that. When Rami said that to me last night, I went, oh, that's right. Yeah, midterms are here. And it's only been a year. I mean, can you believe that? That was crazy. And then the 25th anniversary. And then now all this stuff going on with this Minnesota fraud. I mean, are you kidding me? Which, that's everywhere. So, what we all do about it is, I guess, expose it. You got to expose and talk about it. When they shot Charlie Kirk, I went up there and covered it. I took 3 days to go cover that, and he was speaking and talking. Okay, that's what he was doing. And so, since I was here, I felt it was, my responsibility. It's in my state, and to go cover it. Let's see. It said you had news via McMahon out on Connecticut. No. Jesse, Charlie, yeah, that's crap and hard. He's always making these kind of analogies, which are good. He's fucking guy. You son of a bitch. All right, I should be laughing at that fucking comment, by the way. Damn it. She had her hands. Dug deep in the politics under Trump. Yeah, I'm sure. There won't be an election in 28. Won't be an election in 28. Why do you say that, Dad? Why do you say there won't be an election in 28? Yeah, Kirk's wife seems to be coping quite well. Yeah, that's that whole thing. And I didn't really watch Charlie Kirk. Of course, he was a kid when this is 10 years ago, Trump, and here's this kid coming up and doing all this, right wing or Republican rah-rahing. And then this happened. Erica inserted over 300 million, inherited on 300 million, really. Yeah, I'm sure she did. And they had 2 little kids, so I guess I don't know. it's sad. Very sad, but, here's the other thing. You got to listen to music. You got to come over to Texas Gal Farm Life's channel. She streams a few times a day. I go over there and help her as well. You got to take a break from ice. Here's a joke. In Minnesota, I figured what you could do, instead of ice, you could get all the sand you could buy all the sand in Somalia and put it down on the ice for the street. That'll solve some of the ice when you buy the sand in Somalia that, there's a swap, you help them, and then you get it for the ice instead of ice. So I don't know if that's a good joke this early in the morning, but it'll be better tonight when I form that joke. That'll be I'll rewrite that joke a little bit, I think. But we watched Trump. Anybody else I gotta quit walking this camera so much. That's here. This is for Dave. Look. This is for Dave. Look. Look at the Broncos. My kid made this. Many years ago. I have this. I'm not too big a football fan anymore, but I guess all right. I don't even watch it. Actually, I haven't watched it in years. I hear they're doing good. Well, Dave was talking about sports and baseball and flipping. I think he's badminton. He's into badminton and different things. And I just went, oh, well, how good's the Broncos doing? Hey, they're beating the shit out of everybody. All right. And then Dave said, oh, go Pats. I went, yeah, you lost or you won, but you got to go through Denver. So I thought that was pretty funny. I think Dave's into underwater basket weaving. I know he teaches that on Saturday afternoons at the Boys and Girls Club, I believe. And so he's helpful on that aspect. Not much of a sports guy. I asked him to run one day, and I think he tripped over there was a brick sitting out there or something. He tripped over it, so I never asked him to run again. No, he fishes a lot. He does. Yeah, he's fishing. We're going to try to get him to do the fishing thing all summer again. That's probably the safest place to be, is out on a lake fishing coming up here now that I think about it. So Dave's got it made. That's probably the safest place to be. And I might be there with him. I don't think we really need two fat guys in a boat, though. I'm not sure that's the best idea. In fact, I don't go fishing. This friggin' criminal cop here asked me to go fishing. I shouldn't be on a boat. Okay? I don't need to be on a boat, man. I'll just hang out by the shore with the dogs under a thing with a cooler sitting there, and it's a little safer for me than be on a boat, because then if there's that. I don't really fish. This is really the first time I'm not really fishing. And my brother he's got boats. He goes fishing. He's got boats up in Milwaukee. And I would fishing with my niece and him when she was 5. And we went out there on this little oar rowboat out of this it was on Long Lake, actually. And I had my Ray-Bans on, and I'm fishing with my niece and my brother. He's like, yeah, we're fishing. And I'm an Irish German. I don't need to be on a boat with the sun blasting on my flipping Irish head. And I look over to look at something, and I'm like, look at all the fish, Tara. And I go over here, and there goes my Ray-Bans, blop, right into the thing. Oh, no, I lost my flipping Ray-Bans. And then, I haven't told this story in here. This is actually very funny. And then one of the oars break on this flipping rowboat that we rented from the little lady with the, you put the $10 in or whatever it was. This is 1990, this is 1994 or something. Broke the oar. So now we have one oar to get back. We're on this huge lake. One oar to get this boat to the shore. And I'm pissed. The sun's beating down. It was already several hours then the stupid oar breaks. So that sucked. My little niece is flipping out. Uncle Jay's flipping in the boat. There's a little boat. I don't need to be on boats. So then we finally get it to just wherever. Just get me to the bank. Let's get out of here. Get out of here. I don't care where the office is or where the flipping boat thing ramp is, whatever it was. So we get there. We finally get to the shore, and come here, kid. Get out of the boats. Get out of here. And my brother turns around and goes, well, what about the boat? And I went, I don't give a shit about that boat. We got to walk all the way to wherever the parking lot is and get out of here. And then we had, an hour and a half drive back home. And so I have never been fishing since. I actually have never been fishing since. That was 1994. And so, and then people that don't like me want to take me fishing. So I'm going to have to pass on the fishing probably for good. But I'll hang out by the shore maybe, or, maybe close to it within a reason, unless there's alligators or different kind of, depends on which lake it is or what's going on. Bluegills or bass or something, I'm not really sure. I like fish though. Fish is good. Watch me get bad. There you go. It'll catch a big bad right on. Where's Jethro? What did he say? Lost some. Well, is it muted? You still here? Oh, okay. Somebody called. Somebody flipping called. I always want to interrupt my fun. That's all right. Yeah, you can take Dixie fishing. There you go, Dave. So Jethro said, my buddy tipped a canoe in the Allegheny River, and I never did find my pipe. I can imagine you lost a valuable commodity, Jethro. All right, that made me laugh. He was worried about that. Well, canoe, you're supposed to just be enjoying the trip. You're not, or I don't know, do people fish on canoes? Yeah, they fish on canoes, I think. But it depends on what is your most valuable things on the canoe. Obviously, we know what Jethro's most important part of is that he missed the most, not his shoes or his hat or his, everything else. It would be part of the Lorana Corporation's equipment. So, that I would have never guessed. That made me laugh, though. That's good after watching these people talk about all this healthcare screaming about, they're all rubbing each other and patting each other. My little video the other day where Dad came in and made that comment about rub each other, tuck each other under the tub or whatever it was. That was pretty funny, man. That was pretty funny. Another phone calling. poke each other under the tub or whatever it was. That was pretty good. But, comedian, you have to laugh during some of these topics in life because that's why music, your family, pets, your friends, nature, all these things away from the chaos and the noise, you gotta have resolve in. So, first thing I smoked from in high school was the classic soda pop can. Well, you should. Jethro knows that too. You shouldn't be too concerned about these. When you always have a soda in the canoe, you have something. It probably was a very, very valuable piece of equipment, though, that Jethro brings up because, apparently it's still on his mind, by the way, that his buddy tipped the canoe, and he's probably heard it the rest of his life. My brother has heard this story about breaking the oar, and we had to spend an hour floating in the thing with one oar. We're all go like this. My little knees just go like this with the water trying to get to the shore. It sucked. I was furious. I didn't even have a hat that day, let alone an Irish hat. So it was bad. You give me that buddy's number who flipped the canoe, and I'll make him get a diving tank to get down there and find that thing, because that was an ancient piece of equipment, and it must be retrieved. If you were to go find valuable, treasure, that would be one, I'm guessing. We'll have to pinpoint it on a map if you guys could remember. If you can remember now which part of the lake you were on, we can get some tanks and try to look for it. Massachusetts, they have Gringers. In New York, we have subs. Pennsylvania, they have hoagies, grinders. Grinders? I'm not really sure you're a dick for making me say that dumb word on this funny live stream, Dad. Okay? You need to don't do that again. I'm not. You did that on purpose. Son of a bitch. It's funny, though. I don't know. I ain't paying attention. I was telling fish jokes, and you're over here. You guys are talking about eating now. Subs and food and the beach. Pennsylvania. Guys are ever in the area, it's about a mile south of the river. Okay, everybody, somebody clip that. You guys are ever in the area, it's about a mile south on the river bend, south of Toledo, Pennsylvania. Okay. All right, well, now we know where it's at, where this treasure is. We got to start a fund to go get that. If we were to start a GoFundMe to get Jethro's equipment that was lost in a canoe accident, that actually is a good story. The rescue of Jethro's canoe accident from 1987 or 1990, whatever, and we're going to rescue that would be a very, very funny series of trying to go rescue that piece of equipment as history. That would actually be very funny, actually. And a good series. That in itself is a good series, I'm thinking. Send me an email, Jethro, and we'll try to plan that series out. Several days of locating it. I'm sure it was metal. It wasn't wood. So if it's metal, we could find it. We might not be able to find the rest of the shit that was in the canoe. It's still packed. That's not there anymore, but the equipment, I'm sure, is. Holy shit. All right, that was funny. That was pretty damn funny. Good. So yeah, well, so now we know he's up in, I think he said Pennsylvania, on the lake, on the corner of the lake, on the which end we'll figure out, because you could do that radar sensoring, and we could figure out who tipped when, if they can remember where they were tipped, where they were toked and tipped, that would be the place. That's where we'd start. We'll get some submarines, we'll get some tanks and some people there, We'll have to come up with a name of the rescue of Jethro's treasure equipment, or a rescue of the Jethro's treasure. And then we'll get it framed. We can get it, find it, get it framed. Series. And I'm sure Jethro wants it back, actually. Actually, he probably does want it back. We could go to the guy that tipped him over and flipped it. And in fact, we're going to make him go down and find it. He needs to be part of the rescue because he did it. So, you sort of got to participate in something that you caused, sir. I can't believe this is a talking point in a series. Let's see, French. I cleaned that out and started using it in pipes like that anymore. Well, that makes us the more the reason to go find it, actually, because the remembrance of that, and you can't find stuff like that, so it really is a valuable treasure commodity, and it must be located. Jethro's treasure must be found. I think that's a valuable topic that we will use down the line. But, all right, you guys, this has been one hell of a, let's see who's all here. I want to say hello to everybody, and we'll just, let's see, Pepsi, Coke, left my hoagie. I had a hoagie the other day. It was delicious. When I went to Massachusetts State Fair, they were calling them something. I was looking around for the organ and the monkey. Oh, that's funny. Organ and the monkey. Right. Okay, Daily, Jethro, Dad's hanging out all the way up north. Guys, everybody seems to be up north. Commander's still here. Jethro, Dave, and I bet you Daly's here still, and Dixie's still in Tennessee. But a bunch of people came in. That was very fun. We heard what they were trying to do in Washington. I think End All Immunity had the comment of the day, which was after, I'll have to go back, but they're trying to tell you that they're going to do a program, and then after screwing it all up. Gotcha, we got it. Which is now what they did in Minnesota. They caused all that, and now we got to go in to fix it, and cause a bunch of, that's Stanford, I guess. So, that night they burned Dixie. That's because here in the Northeast, there's a bunch of frozen popsicles huddled in our homes. Yes, we will not look for your equipment, your Lorata equipment, anytime until the weather gets better. We're going to line up. I don't know if I know people do have those little submarines, the little ones, not the ones that fold under the water way down there, but how deep is this river or lake? Hopefully it's not too deep. If it's 20 feet, you should have found it yourself. You should have dove down there. I mean, if it's 600 feet, I mean, who's going to go look at 600 feet, though? I know I'm not going down there, but we're going to make your buddy, Jethro, go down there because that's, yeah, me going down there is not something I want to do. It's actually only a couple feet deep, but it's murky because they release water from the dams. My buddy was pushing off the bottom with the one oar, and then the bottom was gone. It fell out of the oar, and the canoe tipped. Oh, so that is the equipment might not even be in that area. It could be way down away now. Holy shit! You don't even know. We might be searching for years. Well, that would be one hell of a series, but I mean, if it's a couple feet and then the water takes it downstream to the next bass section, it might take 100 years to find, unless you got a submarine or. But we're gonna make sure your buddy is part of the series in finding this equipment because he caused it, and he should not. You're not supposed to be digging your oar on the base bed of the lake. That wrecks it. It wrecks it. Hey, Westside, hey, good to see you. We were watching President Trump and a bunch of the other people talk about health care, and then we started talking about Jethro and his problems, his leg problems, and I sort of feel sorry for Jethro, but not really, because he should have took the oar and the other one that fell, and probably, I'm not saying beat up anybody with it, like his buddy who did it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. He might have thought it. I'm not really sure. I'm sure I would have, but Jethro's a different kind of character. He loses his fishing stuff. Dave's never told me that he's ever lost his fishing stuff, and he's on he's always really good hunter and a guy in the woods and everything. And here's Jethro on a boat with a buddy in a canoe, flipping it over, and it plink, and then, and now he's telling it 30 years later and wants somebody to go rescue his flipping Lorata equipment. Okay, that's out of line, by the way. That's sort of out of line that you want to ask people to help you get something that you and your buddy can't even have a canoe ride. And what are you doing on a canoe with a guy on a lake alone? Okay? I'm just asking there. Now I'm trying to understand. You didn't say you were fishing. What is going on here? I mean, this story is getting very disruptive. Now that I think about it, what the hell just happened? But I mean, I thought. Well, he didn't stall. He said his buddy. He said his buddy. He didn't say. He didn't. Hold on. Just that's. His buddy could. He didn't say his buddy's name was Steve. His buddy was Melissa. Okay, or Stephanie. So I'm not going to say that. You know, not, make it back. So, you know, he was. I want to believe he was on the lake with Melissa. If his name was Steve, that's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna. I still have to have my coffee right now. What is that old adage or something? Not that there's anything wrong with that or something. Unless you're on a canoe alone, on a quiet canoe trip, and then you got naked in the. Maybe that's what they wanted. They wanted to flip it so you could get naked in the river. That could be part of it. I'm not sure if that's part of the story. He hasn't told the story yet. I hunted for 12 years and never got a single deer. My older brother would sit in the stand the next day when I didn't want to freeze my ass off anymore and would get a deer every time. Laugh out loud. It's funny. And spoke. What got me earlier is Jethro said, yeah, and it's still packed. That was very, very funny. I'm sure it is. If we find it and it's still packed, I'm gonna. Oh, will probably be the funniest thing ever. Hopefully, we can get this series written up. Dave's a fisherman. He will not flip the canoe. In fact, I'll never be on a canoe. Oh, there was that. Especially not with Jethro and Melissa. Or Steve. Anybody named Steve. I'm not going to do that. But, boy, I guess we're having fun telling stories here. Did somebody say Jody was here? I didn't see her here. Oh, she is here. Jody's here, West Side. Jody is not banned yet. She's not banned yet. She might be. She might be banned on other channels. I'm not really sure. Lake City Hall, where I just found my home away from home. It's amazing. Constitutional interview. We'll see through the hoodrinkery and bullshittery because of Rizzo. And my buddy Mob Rats, too. He's up there, Providence, Rhode Island. Please subscribe to him. He's a dog guy. He tells his uncle was in the mob years ago. I've known Bruno for many, many years. And he's a great friend. And he's, I sent him a video of what I was doing. He was the first guy that invited me on a panel many, many years ago. And I went in there and made jokes, and we always invited on because I seemed to be a little funny at times. Not like Jethro or anything. Like really funny. No, that's a bad joke. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant, by the way. Let's see. Last swim to the lake was, let's see, lots of leeches and suspicious places. My sons were horrified and never wanted to swim the lake again. Yeah, don't go around leeches. I came across a ton of illegal hunting tree stands on my walks. Yeah, Dave does, too, by the way. If hunting's over, or whatever, hunting's over, and there are a bunch of stands, and I'm sure that was all on public property. Dave, you gotta be careful of that too, though. Those hunters' stands are, they're hunters now, so you pissing some hunters off in the middle of the Dave is not a good idea. And plus, we don't want you going fishing around the lake because you're doing that. So, So there's that. See, you want to talk about illegal hunters? The Amish around here get a deer tag and process to take the tag off and then go get another one. Those damn Amish people. I like the Amish though. You know, they're simple creatures, simple people. You know, great builders. They're great builders. So there's that. That's a good thing. They like to hunt. Venison's great. I love venison meat. It's delicious. But yeah, deer tags. There's so many deer around here too. Well, we're just rolling away here, aren't we? You guys are watching Trump. I came on because there was sort of a topic, and now the topic later is probably going to be, I might as well go live later over this ICE stuff. Man, but anyway, let's go back to, let's see. I don't want to talk about that right now. Guys in Massachusetts killed deer after seasons are over, and they say they froze and their freezers were getting tagged. We hire the Amish to help. There's Daily. We hire the Amish to help build some of the buildings in our property. Great builders. Yes, they do here, but the inspectors, this is Dixie, Martha, they do here, but when inspectors comes, they throw parts of the organs to harvest. And I've even talked to Tennessee Accountability about that topic, Dixie, or not that specific topic, but I mean, Tennessee seems to be. So this is what he said. He said the auditors that come here will go to, the major cities in Tennessee, because if auditors venture out, they only will go to the major cities because they're a bunch of nice people in Tennessee. That's what I was about to say. They're very, very nice people in Tennessee. So I love Tennessee is what I was saying. That's what I was referring to, how nice Tennessee is, all of Tennessee, and all the people there too. It's very nice, Tennessee. I think I have a stepsister that lives in Tennessee. I'm not sure. I know Dixie's in Tennessee. Well, we solved the health care problem. We solved all of the health issues in rural. Trump and Oz and Kennedy, he was in on it, but he didn't get to talk. For some weird reason. I don't know what that is. And then somehow Jethro lost something over the years, some kind of equipment that he had, and we're going to try to put a series together, a hunting party with submarines and his buddy Melissa, or Stacy, I forgot her name at this point, who wrecked a canoe, and then I think they went skinny dipping, I believe. He didn't add that part, but I'm saying that part because I want to believe that maybe that was the intention. Unfortunately, they lost part of their fishing equipment. I guess that's what I'm going to say. Their fishing equipment. that was purchased or made. And we need to now retrieve Jethro's fishing equipment during a series up there in Pennsylvania on some hidden crazy lake. That I'll be on the shore and I'll just be, doing the series, explaining the submarines and the people that are trying to find this. And hopefully Melissa's there or Steve but we'll have a hunting party, which will be probably a pretty good series that will be talked about for years, because obviously Jethro has talked about this damn thing that affected his whole life, like his whole life, and he can't get it off his mind. Well, we're going to help him with the therapy of finding his fishing equipment, because once this equipment is found, he gets to tell this now. He can't keep complaining about the flipping canoe. he lost his fishing equipment. And who fishes in a flipping canoe anyway? You're supposed to be enjoying the sightsees. Jeez, what the hell is wrong with you, Jethro? Or just buy some new fishing equipment, I don't know. That coffee was cold, but it was actually pretty good, though. I put Irish cream in my coffee. A little bit, just, I don't have any milk, so then Irish cream. Always good. But after watching Trump, you gotta get a little milk in there in your coffee, or creamer, some kind of creamer. Okay, you guys, well, that was, enjoying the size of the pipe was just enhancing it. Yes, you're just enjoying it. It's fishing equipment. I'm sure it was fun. Until that happened. So we will get the hunting party. We'll diagnose the whole series. We'll start out with Jethro telling the story of what happened, and then everybody will walk to the trail. Everybody can put their, tanks on and the mask and the goggles over their head. We'll swim out to the sort of the area, and Jeff will be, no, go left or right or a little bit. Well, I'm trying to remember which. I think it's a little bit to the right. And then we'll get the area will go down. And then somebody will come and go like this. Oh, we found it. We found the fishing equipment on a great canoe ride. And this story will have finally a happy ending, because he doesn't get to tell the terrible story of his scenic trip on this lake on a canoe from 1979 that for some reason he can't let go of it. Well, we've tied it all together and brought it back and tied it in a knot. We'll get the story corrected. This is an important story, okay? It's an important story, and it must be told, and it's got to be corrected. It has to have a better ending. It must have a better ending than his half of the story, him and Melissa's half of that story. So we will get that series going, and we'll map it out, we'll plot it out, and then we're going to get, we'll get, somebody named the series, Save Jethro's, not equipment, Save Jethro's fishing equipment. Save Jethro's fishing equipment. Okay? That's what I was referring to. Or what, I come up with it at the time. I put him on, especially his, no, he can't even say gear. You can't say his name is somebody's gear. You got to put fishing equipment. Boating equipment? Boating equipment. Man, we could say boating equipment. Because if he really wasn't fishing, or canoe equipment, save Jethro's canoeing 1979 canoe equipment rescue series. Something like that. I don't know how this even that happened here, but it is sort of funny. So, so I have some people watch it. I talk about Jethro, but he is he's very valuable part of the Lorada Corporation, and so that's we want to help him. Oh shit! That is funny, right? Well, and so that's why we have to. So he said this is the most generated interest he's had about his canoe tipped over equipment in years. Yeah, in 40 years. So then that's why we need to help him. So that was actually very funny, Jethro. But it's good to laugh. Yeah, we gotta laugh. You gotta. And I could do this with any topic. If somebody was to give me a topic and talk about a crazy whatever, and you just tell part of the story. So I think we can recover it. I've never been to Pennsylvania. I would love to go up there. I've never been to the East Coast. I would love to. I have many, many friends up there. Dave's up there. My buddy earlier from Mob Rats 2, he's in Providence. I know some people all on the East Coast. I've never been to the East Coast, so I definitely want to save Jethro's canoe gear. Hashtag find Jethro's lost canoe gear. Hashtag find Jethro's lost canoe gear. Hashtag find Jethro's lost canoe gear. That's pretty simple. That's good. Somebody put that in the chat so I remember, because what's the hashtag find Jethro's lost canoe gear. You got to put canoe. You can't put Jethro's lost gear. You can't write that. Okay, that's like he doesn't know what he's up to, or what he's missing something. Hashtag find Jethro's lost canoe gear. Right. So, yeah, that was pretty funny. And I'm sure there's more stories that we can find here down the line. Somebody could just pick a topic. We'll come into a stream. We'll pick a topic, and then we'll all just make a series of. This is the first series of Lost Treasure. Okay, so now it's going to be a Lost Treasure series. So find Jethro's lost canoe gear. That's the first episode, and we can't solve another one until we do that one. So, so that's I'm sure you guys do have stories. Find Jethro's lost canoe gear now. Now you got to write, and then write ... C. Find Jethro's lost canoe gear now. Oh, that's really good. We'll start a GoFundMe. People will be interested in this. I'm telling you. If we get the train rolling about finding some lost treasure. You guys don't understand. This is what you could do. That's I find lost cats, but not any canoes. Whitey Bulger and Kevin Weeks, Irish mob guys, hung with my dad who's... Hey, look, Dave, look. Now, my buddy Mob Rats, okay, look. I've known him for 10 years, more than 10 years, okay? And he does stories about all these mob stories. And so, I texted him last night after we finished that stream, telling it was fun, and I was glad that he introduced him to all my buddies here on the First Amendment community. And he wants to do a stream, obviously, but if you have some of these mob stories, I'll hook you up with my buddy, or we'll do a panel together or something, because I don't know anything about these mob stories. I'm an Irishman. I'm an Irish German, so they threw potatoes at us and stuff. So I didn't like that. But he's up in Providence, and so we'll have to. He wants to do a stream. He wants to get back stream, and I was that was the first show I went on YouTube. The guys invited me on the show. What the hell? I don't want to do that. Then I went on and went, all right, that was pretty fun. And I went away for a long time. Unfortunately, I got, a little bit ill. I didn't flip a canoe or anything, and now I'm back, and this shit happened to me here. So it's actually sort of fun reconnecting with a lot of these people I know. And we are going to find Jethro's lost gear now. And that's the first series. Let's see, my cousin Rizzo. And if somebody doesn't write that down, I'm not going to remember it. So I better write it down. Hashtag find Jethro's lost gear, lost canoe gear now. Find Jethro's lost canoe gear now. I like that, actually. That's pretty. That's pretty funny. Focus on the revolution first, then we can play. Okay, spread of Texas, Snitch City, folks, Boston Globe, Green Fund, whatever. YouTube has Snitch City. Let's see. Seen Snitch City, the super close friend. I think I have seen, and I bet you Bruno does stories about, you got to go over to this channel. I mean, I can't drop the link. It's Mob Rats 2. Mob Rats, I think maybe 2.0. But he was in my chat way earlier when I started, but he does all these mob Italian stories and has a bunch of people in there talking about, I mean, he grew up there, so in that area, so all these things here. It's not like a fishing story on a canoe, they're a little kind of a different story. Jethro has flipped canoe stories. Wait a minute. I mean, these are mob ties and gangster shit or whatever. And you got Jethro worried about his flip canoe and his damn fishing equipment. What? Oh man. Snitch City. I'll have to look that up. But that is funny. Yeah, rather than say mob stories or anything else, or building spaceships. He's worried about his flip canoe story. And Grabbing Harvard wants to just about revolution. And Jethro's like, hold on a minute. What are you talking about? This is a topic. It's a very important topic. Shun. Everybody needs to calm down a little bit more about what show to do next or series. But that one's going to be a funny one and a good stories. Yeah, Mob Rats too. There's my buddy Bruno up there. He's a dog guy. He's a Doberman guy, and a very good friend of mine. And so I don't know if we'll invite him on this series, but he does mob stories, and he's a Catholic, nice guy. Very good guy up there. I'd love to go up there and go to the East Coast. And I'm coming to Pennsylvania, Jethro. We're going to start this. We're going to get your interview first. We got to do tell the story thing. Hello, Jethro. Welcome to the show. Tell us what happened, why you were there, how did you get there with Melissa, why were you even on a lake alone with people, what were you doing, and why were you there? Was it just a scenic trip, or were you just escaping something, or something? We have to figure that out first to make sure there wasn't no nefarious activities going on the lake. I mean, we got to start with that, because if he was doing up to something, then that would be, I don't know if I want to do the show series, but if it's just out for fun, we could do that. All right, you guys. Yeah. Hey, Dave, thanks you guys. Thanks you guys for hanging out today. We all watched President Trump and the medicine story, whatever the hell they're doing. But great. You guys have a great day. We will see you most likely for a stream with this ICE stuff later, because that's gonna, let's see, show you how to post links on mobile. You have to open you to the browser and then copy the link. Yeah, that is true, Jethro, you're right. Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah. Stupid human taught me here, yeah. No, okay, right. But, okay, hashtag find Jethro's lost canoe gear now. First series of a documentary on lake mishaps. Number one, Jethro. Thanks for tuning in. See, thanks, everybody. That was funny. See you later.